You know, they say it's a preservative, but it's really just in case something else is in there. And mercury kills organisms. So that's why they use mercury. Does that answer your question, Anita?
Yes, it does. Can I ask you one quick more thing?
Sure.
Have you heard about they've said so many, I can't remember how many pregnant women dying of the flu shot. I mean, not of the flu shot, of the flu so far. And I was just wondering if that's very accurate and if they've actually had the flu shot. I mean, how could we tell that these pregnant women may have had the flu shot and got it from the flu shot?
Well, ma'am, I appreciate your call. Look, I've had scores of medical doctors here on this show, so this is not my opinion. The German news, mainline, respected news publications are reporting live cancer viruses in this flu shot. The internal CDC report leaked over a month ago, this is the Centers for Disease Control, said they believe it's going to cause neurological disorders like Guillain-Barré. Okay? That's on record. They always admit that even the best vaccines have adverse reactions. Now they're lying with this PR campaign launched by Reuters, who one of the top guys at Reuters is involved with some of the big vaccine companies, saying there's no such thing as a bad vaccine reaction. No one who dies or gets sick after taking this got it from the shot. It's impossible. Now, when somebody preemptively practices medicine without ever seeing you and says the shot didn't do this, the shot didn't do this, you know they're covering up. Here's an example. There have been hundreds of deaths in the trials and then lately now with the Gardasil shot. They admit it in the insert that the drug company Merck puts out. They admit that it doesn't protect you from human papillomavirus and that actually when you have that virus, it cuts down on other types of cancers by 50%. Yes. When you have the common papilloma virus and have an infection, which it's the same kind of virus, stepping on a nail, folks, most of the public has it. There's estimates of high as 90%. Okay? I mean, I stepped on a nail when I was a kid, and I've been to the doctor, and I've pulled it out with pliers myself, and it always comes back in the bottom because I stepped right through a nail in a construction site, not listening to Mama. She said, don't go play on that construction site. But I went and played on it and stepped right through a nail that was in a board. And I get a wart that goes up in my foot. And you know what? People that have dogs have lower cancer rates, live on average 5 years longer. Why? You get more flora, more bacteria. They've done stuff. You know what? It's very complex. The point here is that when you have those warts, when you have that papilloma virus, and there's thousands of them, different variants, many forms of cancer that are viral, that natural virus gives you a buffer to the more deadly types. You ever heard of kids that were always clean and kept too clean, never allowed to play outside, are sick their whole lives? My dad had a black nanny. He loved as much as his grandma. And she told my grandmother, she said, because my dad was getting sick a lot when he was little, until he's about 2, she said, Mrs. Jones, you're not letting David play in the dirt and get all the stuff he needs. That's why he's sick. And she would sneak him off and let him get dirty playing outside, and even gave him some chicken manure tea called Hindu tea. Wasn't sick anymore after that. That old black woman knew a lot more than these jackass doctors who were nothing but corporate salesmen to set a precedent to force vaccines into the public. And that's what this is big vaccine makers have admitted lately, we're going to switch away from drugs now. And some drugs actually are good, pharmaceuticals into vaccines because we can just force the government, pay the government off to make you take it. And here's the Sunday Express. Jab as deadly as the cancer. Top doctor says the Gardasil killing people. Dr. Diane Harper, going to get her on. Fewer face lockout for failing to get vaccination. They're making kids take all the shots, the new flu shots, to get into school. There's no law. It's criminal. Somebody's got to rant and rave about what's happening. New York healthcare workers, Illinois healthcare workers, nurses are revolting. The majority of them are saying they're not taking the shot. But see, they have a captive audience in the public schools. Obama gets up and lies and says there's no law. You're not going to have to take the shots. And then the public schools say, it's on our list. as a policy, we want you to take it. Then they kick you out of school for a violation of policy, not law, not telling you that parents in all 50 states went and got laws passed that they can't kick you out for not taking shots. They're committing crimes, not telling you about the vaccine waiver form. Because they're a bunch of local boss hogs. Even if you believe it's great to get the flu shot, you better Google study. Studies show flu shots double Alzheimer's. 3 flu shots. It's kind of like wearing headphones with blasting music. I've worn headphones for 14 years on the radio. I now have a ring in my ears all the time. I've gone to a little earpiece and have it way down. Like Rush Limbaugh, I might go deaf, folks. Well, it's the same thing. You take those flu shots. That's why you're so stupid. They're full of mercury. In fact, I printed off the insert for the current flu shot that says it has mercury in it. But the moron public, they'll tell you at these drugstores it doesn't have mercury. Ask for the insert and read it. It says mercury. One epidemiologist explained it to me this way. You know how a bee sting makes around 5% of the population go into shock and swell up and can't breathe? I'd been stung by bees many times in my life. But one time I had a swarm of them because I was doing some gardening at my parents' when I was in high school, chased me out of a tree they were in, and I got stung probably 15 times or so. And I swole up red and had trouble breathing and put a bunch of baking soda on myself and got in a hot bath trying to soak it out. But most people would have gone to the hospital. Well, it's the same. And I always laughed at people that were scared of bees until that point. Now I developed an allergic response to them. Now I'm a little more concerned about them. Because let me tell you, it wasn't fun crawling around on the floor having trouble breathing. But my phobia of the hospital was bigger than that of not being able to breathe. But the issue is maybe only 5% of people get violently ill when they get stung by a bee. Well, you talk about the population that gets a baby whose immune system isn't ready. And they admit now they shoot babies up routinely. They even have a syndrome. When they're born, they suddenly can't nurse. They go into shock. It brain damages them. You take a big old shot, probably 1,000 times the fluid that's in a bee sting, full of all sorts of RNA and DNA from the monkey tissue or the fetal tissue they grew it on, and cancer viruses they admit are in almost all vaccines. And you shoot that in. I mean, a big old shot into a baby. And you do it over and over and over again. Of course you're going to have autoimmune responses and allergic responses. And of course the brain's going to swell up. If you've had a pre-existing health problem, the smallpox shots kill you. Causes an autoimmune response in the heart. Especially if you've already got inflammation in your heart valves. Folks, this isn't good. But now they just lie and say it's the law. Your kid's got to take it. Let's talk to Joe in Canada. Joe, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. And I can hear that you're pretty fired up and mad today. I guess anyone would be if, when they're getting attacked from all sides. And, it's a lot of these attacks are coming from, from folks who, base a lot of their criticism on name-calling and rhetoric.
Sir, listen, I appreciate your call, but I'm not here talking about me. No, I'm not fired up today because people are attacking me, and I appreciate you defending me, but I want to hurry here at the end. This isn't about Alex Jones. No, I'm not fired up because people are attacking me. I don't care that people attack me. I don't even know. I don't even pay attention to it most of the time. I don't like it when it becomes a diversion from what I'm covering and what we're going over. We know the Gardasil shot is killing girls. Now they want to force it on boys. We know there's no law. Your kids have got to take the regular flu shot and the new H1N1. But the schools are lying and saying they have to take it. That's what the show's about. I mean, look at this. In fact, where's the article I had? Or the doctor. Okay, this is the Sunday Express. The cervical cancer vaccine may be riskier and more deadly than the cancer it is designed to prevent. Yeah, it only kills 3,000 women a year in the U.S., 300 million. A leading expert who developed the drug has warned. She helped develop it. Now, they admit on the insert it doesn't even protect you from the virus. but it is an attenuated live cancer virus and causes all sorts of autoimmune responses because you get it at tens of thousands of times what you'd get from pricking yourself on a nail or from somebody having sex with you. You understand? They pump a ton of it directly into your bloodstream. Your body's designed to have this stuff come to the mucous membrane or the mouth or the skin where your defenses are, not jammed into your muscle tissue. She also claimed the jab would do nothing to reduce the rates of cervical cancer in the UK. Speaking exclusively to the Sunday Express, Dr. Diane Harper, who was involved in the clinical trials of the controversial drug Cervavax, that's the British name of Gardasil, said the jab was being over-marketed and parents should be properly warned about the potential side effects. Okay? And it mentions all the deaths and autoimmune disease. That's one of the doctors that helped design the crap. Put that in your pipe, Dr. Dean Adele, drug company operative up there every day saying none of this is true. People are dying from this.